Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the class of 2024 commencement ceremony for the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine's OUTU School of Community Medicine. I'm Dr. James Herman, Dean of the School of Community Medicine. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here today. It is such a special day for all of us because today 27 dedicated and bright individuals are entering a noble profession. We are pleased that all of you are joining us for this School of Community Medicine ceremony in Tulsa and celebrating the accomplishments of this year's School of Community Medicine graduates. Now I would ask the graduates, stage party, audience to stand as James Elias, a member of this graduating class, comes forward to perform our national anthem. Thank you very much, James. Please all be seated. Joining me on the stage today are OU Tulsa and School of Community Medicine community leaders who are participating in today's ceremony and a distinguished guest, all of whom I would like now to recognize. I ask each of them to stand as their name is called and request the audience to hold applause until all are recognized. Thank you. On my right, your left, Vice President of the University of Oklahoma Tulsa, Susan Bynum. Executive Dean of the OU College of Medicine, Dr. Ian Dunn. Associate Dean of Clinical Affairs and Chief Medical Officer for OU Physicians Tulsa, and representing our alumni today, Dr. Audrey Corbett. Associate Dean of Undergraduate Medical Education, Dr. Andrew Liu. And on my left, your right, Professor of Pediatrics, Humanities, and Family and Community Medicine at the Penn State College of Medicine, Penn State Children's Hospital, and our commencement speaker today, Dr. John Neely. Assistant Professor in the Department of Family and Community Medicine, Dr. Rob Jackson, who will serve as our herald today. Our two faculty representatives chosen by the class to lead today's hooding ceremony, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Gene Hayes, and Associate Professor of Medicine, Dr. Carl Huskisson. OU Tulsa Assistant Vice President for Research and the School of Community Medicine Associate Dean for Research, Dr. Ken Teague. And in the second row, Associate Dean of Graduate Medical Education, Dr. Yolanda Gomez. Associate Dean of Faculty Affairs and also representing the Department of Psychiatry, Dr. Brian Touche. Chair of our Department of Emergency Medicine, Dr. Boyd Burns. Chair of the Department of Family and Community Medicine, Dr. Lamont Cavanaugh. Chair of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Karen Gold. Chair of the Department of Medical Informatics and Assistant Provost for Strategic Planning, Dr. David Kendrick. Chair of the Department of Pediatrics, Dr. Keith Mather. Chair of our Department of Surgery, Dr. Tim Nelson. And Chair of the Department of Internal Medicine, Dr. Michael Wise. Also on the stage are representatives from the College of Medicine's faculty. Would all faculty members please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Class of 2024, each of you know that you did not make it to this day alone. Many others have walked by your side to get you here now. Let's take this moment to recognize those whose support contributed significantly to your success. To the parents, spouses, partners, other family members, friends, and faculty gathered here today, on behalf of the School of Community Medicine and our graduating class, we give a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for your encouragement, sacrifice, and unwavering support. We are grateful for your loyalty to these medical students, now soon to be these young doctors. Class, I ask you to please join me in applauding and appreciating all of those who supported and helped you along the way. Well, class of 2024, the day has finally arrived. The culmination of your medical school education and the beginning of the next phase of your continuing medical education, training, and career. A little more than 4 years ago, you got the exciting news that you would enter medical school at the University of Oklahoma. And a little more than 4 years ago, we experienced the beginning of the most significant health event our world has seen in over 100 years. I ask our audience to reflect back on that time. We all faced uncertainty and learned to adapt to a new normal. We learned about social distancing and flattening the curve, and the brand new medical school class of 2024 entered into their studies with determination and a willingness to adapt. They attended many classes virtually and navigated the additional challenge of bonding with their classmates despite social restrictions and masking requirements. They did not let the unusual start of medical school define them, but instead overcome the challenges and thrived. Class of 2024, you have shared excitement, anxiety, stress, intellectual and emotional growing pains, exhaustion, relief, and elation, and you are stronger and closer because of the sharing of these experiences and emotions. Today, you become graduates and alumni of the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Your class will leave an enduring and positive mark on the school here and on each other. I congratulate the class of 2024 on your achievements and success in reaching this critical milestone in your careers. I know the faculty of the college joins me in expressing how proud of you we are today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our 2024 commencement speaker, Dr. John Neely. Dr. Neely is professor of pediatrics, humanities, and family and community medicine at the Penn State College of Medicine and the Penn State Children's Hospital. He grew up in York, Pennsylvania, attended Juniata College, where he graduated with honors. He attended medical school at Penn State's College of Medicine in Hershey, entering in their second class, and also studying tumor cell kinetics in the Department of Pathology. Dr. Neely completed his training in pediatrics as well as pediatric hematology oncology and stem cell transplant at the University of Minnesota. Following residency and fellowship, he became an attending physician and researcher at Cincinnati General Hospital, Children's Hospital, where he developed one of the first pediatric tumor banks, propagating them in immunosuppressed nude mice. Using this model, he studied the molecular genetics of chemotherapy resistance and cross-resistance to radiation therapy. In 1985, Dr. Neely returned to Penn State as the chief of pediatric hematology oncology. During that time, he developed the clinical program and faculty, fostered the growth of Penn State's Dance Marathon, which is a student-run philanthropic group, and established research faculty, including development of endowed chairs for research. He served in various other roles at Penn State, including being chair of pediatrics from 1999 to 2001 and the chair of humanities from 2007 to 2008. He's received numerous recognitions for Best Doctor and national polls and is frequently recognized at Hershey for excellence in patient care and teaching. After stepping down as chief in 2005, Dr. Neely turned his interest to developing integrative medicine. He is certified by the American Board of Integrative Holistic Medicine, is a certified functional medicine practitioner, and was the first physician in his region to be certified in the Pennsylvania Medical Cannabis Program. He teaches the principles and practice of integrative medicine locally and nationally, and does consultations in integrative medicine primarily in pediatric hem-onc. He's developed an interest in methods to practice organizational development, group process, and promoting change, including systems thinking, a group process through the World Cafe, and the use of dialogue to promote meaningful conversations and the art of thinking together. And I'll tell you that John and I have been colleagues teaching dialogue and organizational leadership for many years together. Dr. Neely has numerous outside interests, including several stringed folk instruments, most notably the hammered dulcimer. He dances in ballroom, line dance, and tap, and enjoys travel and play with his wife, Lynn, who is with us today as well, and their dog. I'm very pleased to introduce my friend and colleague, Dr. John Neely, and ask you to join me in welcoming him to the podium. John.
Well, look at you guys down there. It's great. I'm just so happy to be here and so proud to see a new bunch of graduates and to all the family, spouses, significant others that are here to help celebrate. And I'm very honored to be here. I've been a friend of Dr. Herman's for a number of years, as he mentioned, so I won't go into that any further. As you heard, I'm a pediatric oncologist, and I can guarantee you that that's not the way to break the ice at parties. And I get a little tired of it after a while when I meet new people, because every time you say you're a pediatric oncologist, they well up and they start to cry and everything. And then I do have the opportunity of saying, you realize that we have a very high success rate in pediatric oncology at the moment. When I was born in the early years, if a child had leukemia, it was a 0% chance of survival. And now for the common childhood leukemia, it's nearly 100% survival. And I get to know many patients over the years who are cured of leukemia. So when I'm at a party, somebody says, "What do you do?" I say, "I'm a pediatrician." They say, "Oh, that's great. I'd sure like to take my kids to you." And I say, "No, you don't." And then I have to go through that anyhow. But it occurred to me in our neighborhood, and I live in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania, somewhat like Tulsa in a way. We're along a river. It's very rural outside of the city area, and we have a lot of physicians, and they tend to be beloved. And it wasn't very long ago that one of the cardiologists in town, who was loved by everybody, and more physicians knew him than I did, and he passed away. And I had the opportunity to go to his memorial service, and it was something I have never, ever seen in my life. Here was a big auditorium, something like this, and a beautiful walnut casket in the front of the stage, and behind him, over here, is a heart about 20 feet tall, made out of roses. It was spectacular. And there were eulogies about how wonderful this guy was, and all the patients that were there to mourn for him, and then the organ started to play a eulogy, and as it did, a door in the heart opened up, and the casket slowly descended into the heart, and then the door closed, and there was hardly a dry eye in the place, except for this one guy next to me who I didn't know, who started to laugh. And I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm sorry. I was just starting to think about my own funeral. You see, I'm a proctologist." So in my career, I've had a wonderful and varied career, and I've had my ups and downs, as most people do. And I have three things that I've kind of learned over the years, and I'd like to just share them with you. One is, if you've ever read Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, if you haven't, you should, because it's full of a lot of analogies and things. But in there, Alice was found with the Red Queen and running as fast as she could, and they didn't go anywhere. And the Queen turned to her and said, "You see, you have to run very fast just to stay in place. And if you got to get somewhere, you got to run twice as fast." This is you with medical knowledge. You know the degree. We always talk about drinking from the fire hose of knowledge, what the kind of things that you got to learn, and I'm always appalled about thinking about what you had to learn for medical knowledge compared to me. Just to give you some examples, when I was entering grade school, 6 years old or thereabouts, the Watson and Crick DNA molecule was discovered, and they won a Nobel Prize for it. When you were 6 years old, the entire human genome had been mapped successfully. When I entered medical school, the only molecular genetics known was this little tiny segment of the E. coli bacteria called the lac operon, which allowed E. coli to utilize lactose if glucose wasn't available. And it's the first time that somebody was able to sequence the gene from something as small as a bacteria. And Jacob and Monod, two men, won the Nobel Prize for this. When you started medical school, there was a brand new technology of gene editing called CRISPR technology, which you all know very well. Well, I'm proud to say that the two people that won the Nobel Prize, Doudna and Charpentier, both women who won the Nobel Prize. And now you finished medical school after 4 years, and they're using CRISPR technology to edit 69 genes in a pig so that that kidney is compatible with human beings. And if this pans out, as I suspect it will, we're going to alter the ability for people waiting in line for kidneys to get a kidney transplant that currently is not available. We just don't have enough donors. So it's pretty phenomenal to me. The message, though, that I have for you is that imagine what's going to come along when you're more senior in your career like I am. I can't even begin to imagine. And how are you going to absorb all that data and information and learn from it? Well, I think you're going to need tools, and I hope that things like artificial intelligence that is coming along and informatics that's coming along, and maybe even assistance. I'm kind of holding out for C3PO to come along with me for my clinic to make notes while I spend time with other things. But above all, with all this knowledge and something like gene editing, you are going to have to pay attention to some of the things you learned in medical school now, which is ethics, medical ethics. What are you going to do to help a patient that is ethical? Because these tools always have double edges. You can imagine gene editing for nefarious reasons or frivolous reasons. You're going to have to come to terms with that. So good luck on all of this, because you have a lot of knowledge that you're going to have to deal with. Second thing I want to talk about is more personal. It's about stress and failure. As you heard, I went to a very small medical school, very similar to yours, very family-oriented. I went to a wonderful residency program that was bigger, but still family-oriented. And my first job was at a big program. And I got to thinking about this one time. Let's say, and I know you're going to say this is light, let's say you had to make 20 medical decisions a day. Now, you're going to say, we do much more than that. But if you calculate that over a year, that's 6,000 decisions a year. How many of you are going to do 6,000 decisions and be correct every single time? It puts a big onus on you to do well. And I came out of my training just ready to rock and roll and do very well. And the first thing that I realized is I was not doing a very good job of what you should do, which is trust your gut. You'll know when something isn't right. And I went off to a very big program, and when I got there, I knew within 1 month that it wasn't the place for me. It was very high stress. There was backbiting going on. One time I walked into the clinic and my boss was pounding on her table and yelling in the phone and turned to me and said, "John, you know I'm not a very nice person." And I thought to myself, you got that right. And I was bought, frankly. I was allowed to go there. I was given a lab, lots of money, a salary that was probably 30% higher than any other place. And people warned me. They said, well, it's going to come at a price. And it certainly did. I knew a month into this was not the place for me. My blood pressure was up all the time. It was affecting my health. I had debilitating back pain. It was affecting my family. I was married. And it was affecting also my ability to do work in the lab. And and yet I stayed for 6 years. 6 years. And dealt with a lot of back pain and things like that. And what happened basically was my research, which I got an NIH grant, things were going well, did not go well after that. And basically they said, if you don't have a grant, you can't stay. So I was given 6 months to leave. And my wife, I'll tell you, wife at the time, was gainfully employed. She's a very intelligent researcher at the Shriners Burn Institute there. And I had to leave. And I was feeling very down about it, and I should have trusted my gut and been out of there a lot sooner. Fortunately, I looked at several other positions because I knew I had to leave. And Hershey called, my old alma mater, and I loved the program. I loved the faculty that were there, and they invited me to come back. And I knew right away that it was the right decision for me, even though my wife said that she had a very good job where we were and she wasn't going to move, because she actually said, I knew you're going to fail. So I would talk about tail between the legs. I went to Hershey, and I was there a month, and I knew that it was the place for me. The camaraderie, it was just a fabulous place. And the Pennsylvania Dutch, I live in Amish country, have a saying, we grow too soon old and too late smart. And I realized that you have to pay attention to yourself. The second point about is don't trust that the decisions are going to be made for you. If you hem and haw too much, it's going to be potentially a problem. So if you don't trust your gut, decisions are going to be made for you. But the thing about that is if you think you're about to jump off a cliff because something bad is happening, more times than not, you're going to find out that that cliff is 8 inches tall. And so have the courage to trust your gut and have the courage to make a change if your gut tells you to make a change. And I know that that's a lot more complicated than just something simple like that, because you've probably all been in situations, personal or maybe career-wise, where that's a very, very tough decision. But trust your gut and realize that a change is almost always going to be for the better. Number 3, I've come to realize more than ever that medicine really is more of an art than a science. You all have learned a lot of science, and you know many, many things about what's going on in medicine. But if you don't keep your eye on the needs of your patient and pay attention, I don't care whether you're in private practice, family medicine, pediatrics, even radiology, where you don't have as much connection with your patients, that you need to be able to connect with your patients. I like to think that sometimes we talk a lot about what the life expectancy is, and that life expectancy is down at some point or up in some countries or whatever. But I think it's better to think in terms of health expectancy. What is it about your patient that is going to have them live not just a long life, but a life that is full and fulfilling? And so keeping an eye on what is it that your patients need for a health expectancy. And the examples that I have are a couple of my patients. Actually, I've had a lot of patients, but 2 that nearly at the same time were 8 years old and were diagnosed with childhood leukemia, both little girls. And I got to know Sabrina and Lydia very well, and you talk about as different as you could possibly be. Sabrina was this glamorous, she loved to dress up, and her hair was her big thing, and when she lost her hair for leukemia, it was a disaster and all of that, and that was her thing. Lydia is a Amish lady, and believe me, her hair is very important too. It's not parted down the middle in what they call a cow path. It's not right. So when they lost their hair, it was a big thing for them, but each of them, it affected their lives in different ways. So Sabrina was the glamour one. She was concerned about her family, concerned about her hair, concerned about social things, and Lydia was somewhat the same with her own family life. And as bad fate would have it, they both relapsed. It was almost unheard of, but they relapsed 8 years after diagnosis, which is almost unheard of, and they did it within the same period of time. They didn't know each other that well, but they certainly do now. They became fast friends. And they were both, I'll tell you the good news, is they're both successfully retreated. And Sabrina is now an administrator in the public school system in Lancaster where I live. And Lydia, who never, ever thought she'd get married. I mean, what Amish man is going to marry an Amish lady that has 2 bouts of leukemia? And sure enough, Abner, who was also a very tall guy and a little bit gangly and all that, a little bit of an ugly duckling, met her and they married. So nowadays, Sabrina has 4 children. I assured them that they were very likely going to have children. And the honor that I had is that Sabrina's 3rd child, she called me and said, we had a little girl, we named her after you. And so her name is Nelia. And it's a Latino family, so Nelia doesn't quite fit into Teo and, different things. But anyhow, Nelia is very sweet, and we go see her on a regular occasion. And Lydia and Abner have 3 children, and they all look like little Amish people. And Lydia's a little short and squat, and Abner's very tall and thin. And they have 3 people, and the last time we got together with them, her oldest daughter came up to me, pulled me aside, and said, Dr. Neely, thank you for saving my mother. So all of you are going to have rewarding things, and cherish those things, because you're going to have patients that really bond to you, really depend on you, and all of that. And just remember that you have a real task ahead of you, and I'm confident you will, to how to ethically manage the knowledge that is going to come forward. Be cognizant of the knowledge of the art of medicine, which is every bit or more important than the science of medicine. And then take care of yourself, okay? You should, I think you've had a good practice here with your fellow students and the faculty, but as you get out there, be sure to take care of yourself. In closing, when I came to Hershey, I was kind of a wounded guy. I had to leave a job because I didn't get a grant. My wife wouldn't move with me, and we weren't getting along very well anyhow, so I came as a single, divorced man. And I knew right away it was the right place for me when I moved back. And even more importantly, even though I was wounded, and they always say once burned, twice shy, I met a wonderful lady who, after what she thinks is an interminable amount of dating, but I was, cautious, we ended up marrying, and actually tomorrow is our anniversary. And so we're celebrating it out here. So thank you very much, and I have every confidence that your careers are going to be great.
Thank you, Dr. Neely. An important tradition at our school is the student address, selected by her classmates to offer some final thoughts and words of gratitude on their behalf is Allison Szymanski. Allison, who is known to her classmates as Allie, grew up in Owasso, Oklahoma, graduated from Owasso High School. She attended the University of Oklahoma, majoring in biology, and graduated with special distinction. As a medical student here at the School of Community Medicine, she has served her class as the elected class president and has played a critical role as student leader throughout her 4 years. She's been recognized for her leadership skills, the support of her peers, and her commitment to pursuing a career in primary care. Allie is a recipient of both the Mary Kay and John T. Oxley School of Community Medicine Scholarship, given to a student committed to a primary care field of medicine, as well as the Warren St. Francis Merit Scholarship. Prior to the start of her 4th year of medical school, Allie was chosen as a participant in the integrated pre-residency program in internal medicine. Following graduation, She will complete her residency here in Tulsa at the School of Community Medicine in our internal medicine residency program. Please welcome Allison Szymanski.
Well, good afternoon, friends, family, faculty, staff, and the class of 2024. To start, I just want to thank my class for allowing me this opportunity to speak to you this afternoon. I hope I can express what an honor it's been to grow alongside each and every one of you the past 4 years. Today is the day, May 17th, 2024, the day that back in August of 2020 felt like an eternity away. Today marks a monumental milestone in our lives. As we gather here to celebrate our medical school graduation, we stand at the threshold of a new beginning, armed with knowledge, skills, and now a profound sense of responsibility. Our journey through medical school has been nothing short of transformative. This time is often called a pressure cooker, and for good reason. We've spent countless hours in classrooms, mods, home offices, and hospitals, absorbing information, honing our clinical decision-making, and forging lifelong friendships. Along the way, we've experienced moments of triumph, moments of doubt, but through it all, we persevered with unwavering determination. We started our journey as the ultimate guinea pigs, embarking on our med education in the middle of a global pandemic. We donned our Party City white coats and PPE to learn the physical exam with our classmates as our SPs, otherwise known as standardized patients, and social distanced around our cadavers during our anatomy course. Masks worn 24/7 became a fashion statement. That cloth OU mask really tied our ClinMed casual outfits perfectly together. Remember how shocked we were when we saw our professors' full faces for the first time? Scary. One would think starting med school during times of quarantine would make us strangers, but in fact, I think it did the opposite. Hours were spent doing BRS anatomy quizzes in the mods, with occasional OU football games also live streamed on the wall, of course. We decorated for Christmas, shout out to the mod tree, mercilessly hid James's beloved penguin in his own desk, and ate way too many BNR's quesadillas. If you know, you know. By the end of anatomy, I feel like our class was bonded for life. We would go on to complete pre-clinicals, learning biochemistry, immunology, microbiology, embryology, histology, and pharmacology. We integrated these disciplines within each bodily system and applied them to pathophysiology of disease. If it sounds complicated, it was. But sometimes our studies were just as simple as time is brain. And then came our next guinea pig moment. USMLE Step 1, moving to a pass-fail exam. We spent months preparing for the unknown, doing thousands of U-World questions, watching pathoma and sketchy videos, and praying that we remember the difference between sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, negative predictive value on test day. I didn't. We anxiously took NVMe practice exams, handshaking to get that golden 99% probability of passing. And we did. 1 8-hour exam was behind us. Before we knew it, we blinked, and MS3 year was upon us. Finally, we were out in the real world, or at least our version of it. We listened to Catania's alien conspiracy theories while figuring out that most of us are actually incapable of the famous 10-minute full neuro exam. We felt the rush of our first deliveries, exhaustion of 12-hour days, 4 a.m. wake-up calls. We practiced our surgical knot tying on our scrub pants. We felt the burn while holding retractors for what felt like literal hours. We avoided OR 12. We ate enormous amounts of St. John's cafeteria food, shout out chicken fingers and fries. We definitely did not copy any portion of the internal medicine residents' notes. We got lost many times in the hospitals, somehow never on the way to the Starbucks. We encountered every communicable disease in existence at the Children's Hospital. We gained the responsibility of our own patient panel at the Bedlam Clinic and problem solved around social determinants of health. We witnessed medical trauma, loss of life, and the delivery of bad news. We practiced hard conversations with our standardized patients and realized this part of the job is never going to get easier. We experienced aha moments when we found our future specialties and anchored ourselves in those epiphanies as we studied for our second board exam, this one 9 hours long. With step 2 out of the way, we embarked on our 4th year and our final guinea pig moment with an ERAS application with all new features like signals and experiences with excessively detailed categorical labels. What do you put? I don't know. We put our best foot forward in our sub-Is and invested in an at-home interview setup worthy of a TikTok influencer. We made our lists, submitted them into the abyss of cyberspace, and on March 15th, we finally were given our very first job offers. To quote the honorary PhD Taylor Swift, long story short, I survived. But we didn't just survive, did we? We thrived. Slowly, surely, day by day, question after question, we approached our goal, and today you have earned the title of physician. None of us, however, has achieved this feat alone, so some significant thanks are in order. First, thank you to Meredith Talley in the Student Services Office for the countless behind-the-scenes hours organizing all the small details that made our experience here so great. Everything you see here today is because of them. Thank you especially for dealing with Hannah and I as we planned the match day of our dreams. To Dean Hayes, there's really no words, but I'll try my best. Thank you for being the best leader I've had the opportunity to grow under. You lead us by example with confidence and wisdom. There's no such thing as anxiety with Dean Hayes at the helm. She's our strongest advocate and wisest confidant. You care deeply and authentically for each and every one of us and do everything in your power to help us achieve our dreams. You remind us to be kind to ourselves and inspire us to grow through our mistakes and failures instead of being torn down by them. We hope we've made you proud. To our friends, families, and loved ones, with every year that passes, our thanks to you grows wider and deeper. You helped us navigate college admissions, pre-med classes, and that mountain we called the MCAT. You celebrated us when we finally received our medical school admissions letter. You learned a whole new language alongside us, SPBLs, NBMEs, OSCEs, clerkships, shelves, the match. You sat alongside us in the pressure cooker, and you were there to answer our phone calls when we needed a taste of home. You did our laundry, you cooked us meals, and you told us it was okay when we had to miss an event to study for a test. Thank you for praying for us, for believing in us, and for supporting us on this journey. We would not be here without you. Lastly, thank you to the class of 2024 for the best 4 years of my life. I remember being so intimidated by the 27 strangers at orientation because all I wanted was our class to be friends. While I don't have enough time to give dissertations on each of my classmates and what they mean to me, just know that this group is seriously so special. We've grown so much together, celebrating engagements, marriages, and babies being born. Thank you so much, Maggie. This group has pioneered mentorship programs, vaccine clinics, presented research at national conferences, and more. But most importantly, this group of almost doctors is kind. They're collaborative, they're service-oriented. Thank you for being the most authentic, sometimes chaotic, and inspiring group of people I've ever met. You all are going to be the best physicians. So while today we've looked back to how far we've come, we also begin to look forward to the journey that lies ahead. As we step into the next phase of our careers, we carry with us the weight of great expectations. The expectations of our patients who will entrust us with their health and well-being. The expectations of our colleagues who will rely on us for collaboration and support. Perhaps the most importantly, the expectations we've set for ourselves to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, compassion, and integrity. I wouldn't be a budding internist if I didn't leave you with a quote from Sir William Osler, who says this: "The good physician treats the disease. The great physician treats the patient who has the disease." Our training has equipped us with the knowledge and skills to diagnose and treat a myriad of medical conditions. However, the true essence of being a great physician lies in your ability to see beyond the symptoms and understand the person behind the illness. Embrace each patient with empathy. Listen to their stories. Recognize their unique fears, hopes, and circumstances. Remember what it means to be a graduate of the School of Community Medicine. Treat the whole person, not just the ailment, and you'll make a lasting impact on the lives that you touch. Be honest, be kind, be gentle, and be just. Congrats, class of 2024. We made it. Time to graduate. Thanks.
Thank you, Ally. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I will now authorize the degrees of these graduates. Would the members of the class of 2024 please stand? By the powers vested in me by the University of Oklahoma Board of Regents, the State Regents for Higher Education, and the laws and statutes of the state of Oklahoma, I authorize the awarding of degrees at the 2024 College of Medicine, School of Medicine commencement. Members of the class of 2024, you have all satisfied the requirements and obligations imposed by our faculty for graduation from the College of Medicine. Acting now on their recommendation and by the authority vested in me by the University of Oklahoma Board of Regents and the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities associated with the degree. Please be seated, class. The student marshals will lead each row of graduates to the platform to be invested with the hood symbolic of the Doctor of Medicine degree. Dr. Rob Jackson will now come to the podium to read the names and short biographies of the graduating students. Dr. Jean Hayes and Dr. Carl Hoskison will come forward to hood the graduates.
I would like to invite Dr. Carl Hoskison to step forward at this time. Kenneth Chase Barnett. Chase is the son of Deanna Pruitt of Bristow, Oklahoma, and Kenny Barnett of Wagoner, Oklahoma. He graduated from Wagoner High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Chase and his wife, Katie, will be moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine. Andrew Barton. Andrew is the son of Sydney and Tim Barton of Edmond, Oklahoma. He graduated from Deer Creek High School in Edmond and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Andrew will be moving to Orlando, Florida, where he will begin his residency in emergency medicine at Orlando Health. James Maxwell Cox. Jim is the son of Nancy and Lee Cox of Charlotte, North Carolina. He graduated from J.M. Robinson High School in Charlotte and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Jim and his wife, Megan Lynn Faye Cox, will be moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where he will begin his residency in anesthesiology at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine. Tally Gabrielle Davis. Tally is the daughter of Megan Reed from Enid, Oklahoma, and Terrence Davis from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She graduated from El Reno High School and received her undergraduate degree from Southwestern Oklahoma State University in Weatherford. Tally will be moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where she will begin her residency in adult neurology at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine. James Herbert Elias. James is the son of Cindy and Herb Elias of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Metro Christian Academy and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. James will be moving to Dallas, Texas, where he will begin his residency in child neurology at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical School. Omar Muhammad Fakir. Omar is the son of Hanan El-Talawi and Muhammad Fakir of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Union High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Omar will continue to live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Corbin Thomas Gage. Corbin is the son of Dr. Kim and Kirk Gage of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Bishop Kelly High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Corbin and his fiancée, Kaylee Gentry, will be moving to Lubbock, Texas, where he will begin his residency in emergency medicine at Texas Tech University College of Medicine. Angela Marie Hart. Angela is the daughter of Robin Heim and William Buteau of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She graduated from Booker T. Washington High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Angela and her husband Jacob will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in internal medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Caitlin Hendricks Davis. Kate is the daughter of Laura and Tony Hendricks of Owasso, Oklahoma. She graduated from Owasso High School and received her undergraduate degree from St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. Kate and her husband, Sean, will be moving to Columbia, Missouri, where she will begin her residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the University Hospitals, Columbia. Nolan Henning. Nolan is the son of Sherry and Mike Henning of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Owasso High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Nolan will be moving to Kansas City, Kansas, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at the University of Kansas School of Medicine. Kelsey Lynn Johnson St. John. Kelsey is the daughter of Corrine and Scott Johnson of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She graduated from Bixby High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Kelsey and her husband TJ will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in family medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Armin Kalantari. Armin is the son of Shaheen Gadiri and Khosrow Kalantari of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Jenks High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Armin will be moving to Atlanta, Georgia, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at Emory University School of Medicine. Diego Eleazar Luvano. Diego is the son of Hortensia Ochoa and Eleazar Luvano of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Edison High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Chicago. Diego will be moving to Iowa City, Iowa, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. I would now like to invite Dr. Jean Hayes to step forward at this time. Austin Milton. Austin is the son of Robin and James Milton of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Edison High School and received his undergraduate degree from Oklahoma State University. Additionally, he earned his Master's of Science in Finance and Economics at West Texas A&M University. Austin and his fiancée, Hope Wiggs, will be moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, where he will begin his residency in internal medicine at University of Utah Health. Rachel No. Rachel is the daughter of Dwan Kian Bowie and Phil No of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She graduated from Mount St. Mary Catholic High School in Oklahoma City and received her undergraduate degree from Rice University in Houston, Texas. Rachel will be moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where after a transitional year program at St. Anthony Hospital, she will begin her residency in diagnostic radiology at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine. Anne-Marie Tin Phuc Nguyen. Anne-Marie is the daughter of Tina and Jonathan Nguyen of Moore, Oklahoma. She graduated from Moore High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Anne-Marie will be moving to Tacoma, Washington, where she will begin her residency in diagnostic radiology at Madigan Army Medical Center. Bailey Marie Morris Ogilvy. Bailey is the daughter of Ann and Robert Morris of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She graduated from Bishop Kelly High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Bailey and her husband will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in psychiatry at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. William Ansel Ogilvy. Will is the son of Cheryl and Doug Ogilvy of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He graduated from Jenks High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Will and his wife, Bailey Morris Ogilvy, will continue to live in Tulsa, where he will begin his residency in emergency medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Anna Claire Shaded. Anna is the daughter of Martha and Dr. David Shaded of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She graduated from Cassia Hall Preparatory School and received her undergraduate degree from St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, Indiana. Anna will be moving to Cleveland, Ohio, where she will begin her residency in pathology at the Cleveland Clinic. Megara Shaw. Megara is the daughter of Tina and Bill Shaw of Round Rock, Texas. She graduated from Round Rock High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Megara, with her husband, Alex Dalbush, and their two children, Olivia and William, will be moving to Winter Haven, Florida, where she will begin her transitional year program at Florida State University College of Medicine. Walter Smith. Walter is the son of Moraine and Dr. Michael Smith of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He graduated from Edmond Santa Fe High School and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Walter will be moving to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he will begin his preliminary year program in general surgery at the University of Minnesota. Jeffrey Stanley. Jeff will be hooded by his father, Dr. John Stanley. Jeff is the son of Teresa and Dr. John Stanley of Edmond, Oklahoma. He graduated from Edmond North High School and received his undergraduate degree from Oklahoma State University. Jeff and his fiancée, Bailey Levering, will continue to live in Tulsa, where he will begin his residency in family medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Allison J. Sismansky. Allie is the daughter of Melinda and Jason Gillis of Owasso, Oklahoma. She graduated from Owasso High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Allie and her husband Brett will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in internal medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Dana Elizabeth Thomas. Dana is the daughter of Ruby and Jacob Thomas of Corella, India, and now Bixby, Oklahoma. She graduated from Broken Arrow High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Dana will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in family medicine at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Laura Warning. Laura is the daughter of Tammy Mims of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She graduated from Booker T. Washington High School and received her undergraduate degree from the University of Oklahoma. Laura will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in psychiatry at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Hannah Williams. Hannah will be hooded by her father, Dr. Brian Williams. Hannah is the daughter of Leslie and Dr. Brian Williams of Norman, Oklahoma. She graduated from Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School in Oklahoma City and received her undergraduate degree from the University of New Mexico. Hannah and her fiance, Ethan Dixon, will continue to live in Tulsa, where she will begin her residency in pediatrics at the University of Oklahoma School of Community Medicine. Freddie Gregory Wilson. Freddie is the son of Lisa and Greg Wilson of Owasso, Oklahoma. He graduated from Rejoice Christian High School in Owasso and received his undergraduate degree from the University of Tulsa. Freddie will be moving to Conway, South Carolina, where he will begin his transitional program at Conway Medical Center.
Wasn't that terrific? Dr. Audrey Corbett, our Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs and the Chief Medical Officer for OU Physicians, will now administer the oath of the profession of medicine. Dr. Corbett.
I just also want to say how honored I am to do this for you guys. Graduates of 2024, one of the medical profession's most important, honored, and noble traditions is the taking of an oath at the time of graduation from medical school. Let me take a moment to provide a brief explanation of the Hippocratic Oath. The Hippocratic Oath is an oath historically taken by physicians and is one of the most widely known of Greek medical texts. In its original form, the Hippocratic Oath requires a new physician to swear to a number of healing gods, such as Apollo, Hygeia, and Panacea, to uphold specific ethical standards. The Hippocratic Oath is the earliest expression of medical ethics in the Western world, establishing several principles of medical ethics that remain of significance today. These include the principles of medical confidentiality and non-maleficence, the latter meaning first, do no harm. Swearing to a modified form of the oath remains a rite of passage for medical graduates in many countries. I ask the class of 2024 to stand and in the presence of your faculty, family, and friends, take the oath for the profession of medicine. For the students and those assembled, the oath is printed in the program on page 4. I will have you repeat after me, by the way. Okay. You ready? All right. Upon being granted admission to the profession of medicine, I solemnly swear by all that I hold most sacred that I will keep this enduring oath. I pledge to devote my life to the service of humanity. To the best of my ability and judgment, the health and life of my patients will be my first consideration. I will lead my life and practice medicine conscientiously and with honor. I will abstain in treatment from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. I will hold in confidence all that my patients trust and share with me. I will not permit consideration of race, religion, nationality, politics, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will give respect and gratitude to those who taught me the science and the art and will share my knowledge with others. I will maintain the integrity and noble traditions of the medical profession. These promises I make freely and upon my honor in the presence of those here assembled. May happiness and good repute be granted me while I keep this oath inviolate. Congratulations, doctors. Please be seated.
To all in our audience, we thank you for being part of this very special occasion on this very special day. We ask that the audience in the theater please remain in place during the recessional march of the stage party and our graduates. The class of 2024 will exit directly to the back of the theater into the lobby following the ceremony. Once the recessional has left the hall, we invite all graduates, family, friends, and School of Community Medicine faculty and staff to join us for a reception. Refreshments and dessert items are available in the lobby. The OU seal area of the stage will be available for photographs during the reception. Class of 2024, you came to medical school full of aspirations and full of dreams. The faculty and I truly hope that those aspirations and dreams have been realized. We hope that you come to understand the necessity of lifelong learning, the meaning of professionalism, and the special bond between patient and physician. The OU School of College of Medicine and the School of Community Medicine is a special place, a place where your lives have been transformed and made richer. In years to come, you will find that memories will always tie you to this institution, to this place, to those who have taught you, and to those who have nurtured, shared, and encouraged your dreams. Please take what you've learned here and excel in your residency training. Have pride in your medical school and in your medical education, just as we have pride in you. Stay connected and interested, an active alumni of the School of Community Medicine. For those of you that are staying here for residency, we're more than pleased to have you with us again. For those of you going elsewhere, please remember you represent us wherever you go. And I know that your residency directors and faculty members, wherever you are going to go, wow, those people from Tulsa, the School of Community Medicine, are really well trained. You go forth from this place into a world that greatly needs your idealism, your energy, your skills, and your courage. And we believe in you, and our best wishes go with you. We're happy and proud today to call each of you doctor. You are a class of extraordinary people, and I welcome you as colleagues in this marvelous profession of medicine. Let's all give our graduates another round of applause. Now, will the platform party and graduates of the class of 2024 please rise for the recessional?